we can start here really quickly and talk about stats, how I survive the phases, because people are going to be curious about that. What do you need in the fight, right? I bring, obviously, a bunch of bandages, potions, bring your heals, whatever you need. The stats, though, that you need is, so I go for about 20 magic resist, because when I'm holding right-click with barricade, it's going to give me, 75, and then when I have spell reflect up, it's going to be an additional 15%, so it's going to end above about 50%, somewhere-ish around that ballpark. There is some debate whether, like, the lightning strikes from the different phases 1, 2, and 3 are the same damage type. I've heard people tell me it's physical. I've heard people tell me it's magical. Either way, we're hitting cap on both of these because I'm a fighter. But I do ensure that the magical res is as high as it can be. So physical or magical doesn't really matter. Just get this to 50% if you're doing it. So my experimentation may be required in that area. Otherwise, I'm using the longsword just because it protrudes in the body a little bit. But you can definitely do it with any of the riposte weapons or block weapons. And I think the boss can be done without block weapons too. It's a little harder. So I'm just gonna talk about the longsword. Okay, so we're just gonna talk about that. Let's see. So I start this fight a little differently than I usually do. Typically, I go to the vent and then I ascend up the boss fight and then I drop down below it to put a bubble above me. You don't have to. I'm pretty comfortable with the fight now, and I just swim to it and fight it. And I didn't refill my O2 either, you can see. Because, again, if you get really comfortable with the O2, you don't really need it. And you can see I have a bar of O2 potions. I bring those. Salt Vine's really, really good for this fight. So at the beginning of the fight, he's gonna shoot an orb, and he's gonna dash at you. What I typically do, and this is pretty important, I've learned, is that you see I turn sideways here? I actually turn around. I go aggro him, and then I back up from him. And I do that because if you're too close, it makes parrying what you need to parry, touching him with the sword, where you need to touch with the sword, really difficult if he's too close. So this is about the distance. It's about this thermal vent to the boss. You can be a little closer. I definitely was a little far this time. And you can see how I do this here. I'm aiming center mass with that sword to get it to click. And the mechanic is that it throws you away. And you can move your body in this, whatever it tosses you. You can go hard side or soft side with this attack. Okay? So if you go hard side, you're going to, the top of the array, you're going to take a little damage, but it'll throw you the opposite direction. Sometimes you have to do that. Because if there's a lot of bubbles in the room, when this boss does this dash attack and he slams into a wall, all the bubbles in the room are going to proc a lightning strike at the boss. If you're caught between the 2 points and the lightning strike hits you, it one-taps you. Okay? This is why it can be really, really bad to fight the boss on the outside of the ring of the arena. Okay? On this outside. You don't want to be there. You want to be in the middle. Because if you're in the middle, the balls are not going to travel too far. They're not going to leave the arena. If you're on the wall, though, he will shoot those orbs through the terrain. And that means later in the fight, when you're on phase 2 and 3 or whatever, and he's just dashing, lightning strikes will come from random directions. That's why you don't want him to put them on the roof, and you don't want him to put them on the floor. That makes sense? Don't let him put them in the wall, because you can't break them. You can't keep track of them easily. Just to clarify on that. So, yeah, get to the center of the room, which is where I swim to typically. You get a feel for the timings. I feel like I can hit him here. I stay below him typically. When he points his nose down like that, you can see he's gonna do a spin where your head was. So hold control, look up, and block. Most of the time you won't get the parry. You'll just dodge it. I got the parry that time. Just definitely timing to swim and stab him too, which you see me do. Sometimes he'll bite you though, which is why I hold right click right there, because he may bite. The gun's pretty simple. You can either go, you can just strafe it, or you can look down, look right. I look down. You can do whatever you want. It doesn't. You can block it too. You just play with that one. It's easy. Just hold the strafe key whenever he dashes back. Okay, this attack. People are gonna get really fucked up with this attack. It's a coil attack, right? Which kind of takes a little bit of a time to do it. If it's fast, it's over the top. If it's fast, it's over the top. But if it's slow, it's under. When it comes underneath, you have to hold W to enter free swim. Or your legs go below you and you get hit anyways. But yeah, the over the top attack can be parried by on the left side. And you can dodge these with movement too, but really do that. Just a little practice of this. It takes a lot of time. You can see I'm doing the, yeah, here's the O2 pot. So you can see we came in here with 80 oxygen, by the way. We have 50. So like, if you're phasing it, oxygen management, not a problem. I'm chilling. You know, we're easy. I hit the right click for barricade. Barricade gives MR, right? MR. So I let go of it though to sprint. I'm sprint swimming, by the way. I'm shift sprint swimming out of that. You need to be really careful with that one. It's gonna shoot a bubble. You have time for a bandage if you're quick. And like I said, look at where I am. See the geothermal vents? I'm about that far from it. We're gonna tap its belly with the sword again. See, I'm sprint swimming away. Tap the belly. You want to get away from it. There's a lot of lightning orbs. I try to avoid them, but yeah, I mean, it's dangerous. That's why you have to take the hard side hit sometimes. Again, I position it so I'm in the middle. I swim to it so I'm in the middle. You never want the rock wall behind you. If it shoots those orbs like it did right there, you know, into the wall, it's bad. I stay kind of low to it. It points its nose down. It's going to, you know, it's going to be above you, so I stay below it. Most of these attacks can be blocked by descending. It's a push. That's a push right there. I still parried it. We took damage though. It's not a big deal. Yeah, so that's the one you have to swim into. It's a tricky boss. A lot of these shouldn't be hit. You have like 3 things to worry about. Just stay kind of below the boss. At its mouth level. Where I am right now. See this? A little bit below it. And when it backs up, you see I pull the block out because he could gun you, right? It's doing the over the top again. You can tell. You see the animation's not very winded up. But each of these phases can be survived pretty easily. You need a bubble. You need a bubble. And a little bit of MR. You can do it on Bard too with melodic protections, definitely. As long as you hit the stat requirements. You see I go for the belly again. Same thing with the sword every time. You can do that with any blocking weapon. Shields are harder though. It's just closer to your body. It's easier to fuck up. Sword sticks out a little bit. That's a swim. You swim into that one. When you do that, when you block that attack, you have to hold W. You cannot hold anything else. Just W and right click. That's it. You hold A or D, your feet are going to get hit every time. There's the gun. Does another push. We get the parry though. I'm sprinting out of it. Whenever it does that, I sprint away from it. Because if you're too close, you get hit by that. And also, if he pushes again or if it tries to tail whip you, it's really bad. You got to get away from it when it does that. See, it's the over the top there. Yeah, so this is third phase. You can see it flies around the room. It does fly in a direction, like a specific direction. Like if you look at it right here, look at the way it sits in this boss room. Relative to that entrance, that's the this door right over here is the entrance where you would come in from, like what people usually use. So like the top of Skull Island, like you see your map where it orientates. This is the ocean, right? This is the back of the map. So you can see I believe it points the same way every time. So this pathing is the way it's going to take. So you can position your bubbles. We got a little lucky with this one. Because I don't know exactly how it's going to fly just instinct yet. And you have to survive 5 seconds in this. I typically get in the bubble when the fish flips at the top of the screen. So you're going to see it. I'll go back a little bit here. You can look at it again. When the ray gets to the top of the screen, he does a flip. Once it does a flip, it's flipping. I'm in. Sprint, swim in and out of the bubble. You see how much it fucks me up. It's rough. You can pop second wind if you want. I was using it as a panic button. I didn't feel like I needed it. I think I might click it just for convenience sake at the end of the fight, but not because I ever felt like I was in danger. I even took this without using it too. Again, you tap the, you want to use the mechanic. You need to touch it. But after that, I mean, that's pretty much it. I mean, the phases are going to be the hardest to survive. You need a little bit of stats. I clicked the second one for convenience, just to heal after the fact. You don't need to do it though. Ideally, you don't need second wind in this fight. Or spell reflect. You need baseline stats. I only use spell reflect because, you know, I don't have the stats of my kit to compensate yet. But yeah, this is the loot room. Anyways, the boss fight's very doable, guys. Yes, am I missing anything? I don't think I'm missing anything. The bubbles, they're a timing event. If you get in them too soon, they kill you. If you get in them too late, you die to the boss. So, oh, and the phases, they can be brute forced. With enough stats, you can survive phase 1 and 2. Never phase 3 though. Yeah, but anyways, yeah, that's that. That's the boss fight. I guess if you had any questions, you can ask in the comments, and I'll respond. Maybe, probably not. Maybe. You can go to my Twitch. Come to my Twitch. I'll definitely answer if you come to my Twitch. 100%. We're live every day fighting this, so I hope that's good. Thank you, Smile Pog.